Hi, so today we're going to learn about difference of squares. So we're factoring expressions that have two terms. So they're binomials. And we're going to use a specific method of factoring for this because they are binomials. So if we're factoring, we know that our answer is going to be in factored form. And so we're going to have two binomials multiplied together as our answer. What we want to think about is what do we need to put as our first term in each of these binomials? And if we multiply those two things together, do we get x squared? Okay, so I want you to think about what times what gives you x squared. And if you think about that, that would be x times x. Now I want you to think about the last two terms in each binomial. So this would be what times what gives you negative 100. And so these two numbers need to be the same, and that's the reason specifically why this is called difference of squares, because these this particular constant can be written as a square. So this could be written as 10 squared. So this is going to be 10, and this is going to be 10. And the reason this is special is because everything is the same in both of these factors except for the sign here in the middle. So this one's going to be plus and this will be minus. So that will make this 10 times negative 10, which will give us that negative 100. Now, many times when we have a format like this, we end up, if we were to work backwards and do FOIL method, we end up with a trinomial. Why do we not end up with a trinomial here? Why do we not have a trinomial expression here? Well, that is because if we were to do the middle two terms of the FOIL method, the outer, which would be negative 10x, and the inner, which would be positive 10x, when we add those two together, those actually cancel. That's why this is special. And why you end up with a binomial. So if you start with a binomial, you know these signs have to be different so that that middle term will cancel out. Okay? Now I want to give you a formula for this that may be helpful. If you understand this basic concept, then that's great. If you need something to see just a general format, then this will help you. So if I have a squared minus b squared, I can break that down into a plus b and a minus b. And many people ask me, does it matter if the first term is positive or negative and vice versa? No, it doesn't, because they're factors. It does not matter which order you put those in. So it's kind of like saying, is 2 times 3 the same thing as 3 times 2? It is. So you could write a minus b and then a plus b. That's fine. So let's look at this one. We know that we want this in two binomial factors for our answer. We know that we want to break this first term down into two things that are identical. So if I have 81x squared, what times what gives me 81x squared? So that would be 9x and 9x. 9 times 9 is 81. And then what times what gives me negative 49? That would be positive 7 and negative 7. So again, if we do a little check, if we multiply the inside, that's 63x. If we multiply the outside, that's negative 63x. Those would cancel. The first terms give you 81x squared, and the last terms give you negative 49. So that is factoring using difference of squares.